The perfect time for the children to recharge their batteries after a tough year, but still discover new things while having fun. So, developmental psychologist Dr. Charlene Kaur Desai is here to give us some advice onto how we can get the kids engaged during this break, right? Welcome, welcome, Doc, right on time.
Thank you.
Yeah, the kids are out, they're at home torturing us.
Oh boy, I hope not.
They had a rough year. I know we're having a rough summer as parents, right? So it's about how we can get them to do things during this time, right? What are we looking at though in terms of activities to get them going, engaged, not bored, and at home stuck on the tablet?
Right, of course. I mean, I think many parents worry about that.
Yeah.
They worry about, school's out, as we said, the summer is here, they're spending too much time, they're not doing anything, and a lot of parents feel like that's, something that they can't cope with. And so I think there's lots of things you can do in the summer. You can do things that are structured. Some parents prefer that. They want to put their kids into some kind of summer camp or some kind of activity, but there's also lots of things that you can do that are unstructured as well. So it just depends on what your child is all about. You have to know your child, but also what the parents can afford. And also, just what you want for your children. So.
Yeah, but one of the key things that children need is rest, because during the school year, they don't seem to get a lot of that. They wake up early, they go to bed late because they've got assignments and homework and whatnot, and then the weekend comes, and it's also a lot of work again.
Things, right, to do.
How important is that?
I mean, it's extremely important. I think that's part of the reason why we have a summer break, right? We all need that, both children and adults. So I think in choosing the activity that you want to do with your child, you have to ensure that you're not just putting them back into the same rigorous routine that they may be having during the school year.
School without a uniform.
Exactly, school without a uniform.
That's so true.
So, learning can be, outside of the classroom, and this is an opportunity for us to learn new things and to get that rest that you're talking about, because even children experience burnout. You mentioned school. Right. I have one that just finished grade 5 and one that just finished grade 7. And trust me, they needed a break.
Reducing stress, reducing burnout.
Reducing stress and reducing anxiety. There's so many benefits to actually taking that break.
Yeah.
And so, the summer, you have to find that balance between making sure they don't get bored, making sure they're not having too much screen time, but also giving them that opportunity to take a breather.
Yeah, we have here as well.
Active and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's on the list as well here to say, the opportunity to prepare for the next school year, but we're not going to go there yet, right?
Right.
Yeah, but we're not ready to prepare for go back to school just yet.
You know what? I think that's because some parents feel that there's going to be too much downtime.
Yeah.
They're going to get out of the routine and they're going to have learning loss and all of that. But actually, to best prepare for the new school year, you need that rest. You need that break.
Absolutely.
So I think, it's really more about finding that balance.
But the one I like that says here, it says spend time with family and friends, because, we tend to think that we know our kids, but the truth is when we're there at work during the daytime and our child is at school, the truth is we don't really get to know them properly, do we?
Yeah, I think, I mean, we're all busy. We're all really busy. And I think that during this summertime is that opportunity to spend some time with your family, spend some time with your kids. Help that, this is a time where you can go and visit your family in the country or even in another country, Take this moment for you to learn.
Or visit their family in the city.
Or visit their family in the city,
Exactly. So, wherever the family is,
Yeah, this is a moment for us all to spend together and really have that social aspect and come together. And I think that summer is a perfect time where we're not in our regular routine. And so there's this break.
Absolutely,
It's a great time to learn something new as well. I recall growing up, and it was the time when I learned new games and new musical instruments.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing, eh?
Absolutely. I mean, because we have such busy schedules, I don't think children don't have that opportunity to really explore all of their interests and the things that they're into. And so, I mean, you might have a jam-packed school day, then you have extra lessons, then you have your swimming and all the different things that you may be doing outside of, your extracurriculars. And you may not have that opportunity to explore the hobbies or just general interests. And so the summer is that time. And you can do that through, again, a structured camp or a structured activity. Or it's something that, parents and children can work on together. Like, what are we going to do today? Are we going to do a reading challenge? Are we going to volunteer somewhere? You're interested in learning more about Jamaica. Let's go look at some historical sites, And it doesn't have to be something, it can be something that you co-create together as caregiver and child. You know, what are your interests? And as you said, getting to know them means talking to them, actually asking you, you know. Don't just assume that their only interests are on the tablet or, you know, the activities they may be doing during school. They may have other things they want to explore.
So there is the structured, there is the unstructured, and then, of course, with these, you still have to consider the potential drawbacks, right? Because downtime sometimes mean idle time, right? So sometimes they may develop some bad habits and, you know, some social isolation happening, some learning lost in that mix, and that becomes of concern usually to a parent who has a child at home. You have to go to work. It's not summer break for you. It's summer break for the child who may have to be at home.
But what do parents do to kind of mitigate
those type of things? I think the first thing that I would say is that it's okay for children to have downtime. I think that in this busy world that we're living in, many parents feel like, you know, we have to schedule every moment and we have to have, you know, if they're not in these activities, all of those things you mentioned may come about. But the truth is that children do much better. We all do much better if we do have an opportunity to step back, to come out of our routine, to have a break and to try something new. So, I mean, I think it's still important for parents to plan though. I mean, don't just hope that, you know, the summer starts or as the summer goes on, we'll figure it out. Take the time, think about it, plan ahead.
Make a routine.
I mean, you can have a summer routine. I mean, every child is different. I know that, for example, for my eldest daughter, she after her first year of high school, she just needed literally 1 week break. She just needed a break.
To do nothing.
And, you know, but she's okay with unstructured time. Some children may not be okay with unstructured time. So you can have a kind of summer routine. It doesn't have to be fully as detailed as, you know, it could just be like, okay, everybody, before 12 o'clock, make sure you do these things. And give them some time to also learn how to manage their own time. You know, so it depends. But also take the time as parents too to spend some time with your children. That's another thing that parents can do that's very important. And just also explore different options and talk to your kids about what they would like to do, you know. Get ideas from them. Don't just put them in something that you think is the best thing.
If you can, would you recommend like a summer camp as a, you know, as a means to kind of help you with all of those things that you pointed out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that luckily for us in Jamaica, there are lots of different options. As I mentioned, you have a summer camp like EduTech, you know, where you can do lots of different types of activities. But you have other camps, sleepaway camps. I mean, Morelands is one that everybody talks about, where you can do, again, lots of different activities. And then you have some where, if they're really interested in exploring one particular thing, you can put them in. So, for example, my daughter also went to dance camp for 1 week, where, because she wants to, you know, develop more her dance skills, she really loves it. So 1 whole week just dedicated to dance, and she loved it, you know. And then she can go and do something else. So you can also do different things.
Yeah, well, be introduced to a new language, you really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
These wonderful ideas. Developmental psychologist Dr. Charlene Cordesai. There's a war on Weekend Smile after these commercials. You don't want to miss it. You really don't want to.
Did you just say a war?
Yeah.